Don't call it a comeback. I've been here for years. Oh, you ain't a has-been if you never was. I feel so good. I just walked home in a snowstorm. I had a little bit of soup from a soup kitchen. And I was listening to Mona N last night, her NA talk, and I thought, you know what? She's talking about you cycle, you're in pain, you can't deal with it, shit's not going well. You cycle through 4 or 5 until the pain goes away. Four to nine, steps 4 to 9 until the pain goes away. But first, I'm gonna read out this. Apologies, I had a really horrific cold this month. I had a 10-day cold that's still kind of hanging on, and I had COVID pneumonia last month, so I'm just there, but I'm still here. To quote Benicio del Toro from Way of the Gun. That would be February 23rd. Mysterious paradoxes. I'm going to put this over here just while I read because I need to. Such is the paradox of AA regeneration. Strength arising out of complete defeat and weakness. The loss of one's old life is a condition for finding a new one. AA Cuts of Age, page 46. What glorious mysteries paradoxes are. They do not compute, yet when recognized and accepted, they reaffirm something in the universe beyond human logic. When I face a fear, I am given courage. When I support a brother or a sister, my capacity to love myself is increased. When I accept pain as part of the growing experience of life, I realize a greater happiness. When I look at my dark side, I am brought into new light. When I accept my vulnerabilities and surrender to a higher power, I am graced with unforeseen strength. I stumbled through the doors of AA in disgrace, expecting nothing from life, and have been given hope and dignity. Miraculously, the only way to keep the gifts of the program is to pass it on. Do, do, do. Do, do, do. I love my comforter that I made. I made this during the COVID lockdown. This is all scrap, and I freaking love it, and it's so warm. And I think it's amazing. I thought I'd just do a little quick pan there. So I was cycling through like all my resentments and all my crazy, and I was thinking about the disease of perception. And I remember I was talking with someone at the gym, and we were talking about, why would a McPollock like Eminem hang out with someone like Tupac, whose mom was like, Black Panther, or someone like, how does someone like Kid Rock find his way into the mix, you know, because we belong together. And we were kind of talking about that politics and socioeconomic dynamics, and you know how sometimes you feel better in poorer neighborhoods, you feel more at home. And if it wasn't for so much of the disparity, I talked about in the other video, it wouldn't be such an issue. I'm panning around my bed here while I do this. I love this. It's so pretty. And for me, I was really super lucky because I grew up middle class, right? And we had advantages, we had programs, we had all sorts of stuff. We're really, really lucky. And we're talking about politics, and I'm freaking out. And we're talking about what's going on and what's what. And I don't know what's what. I don't know what's going on. I'm like, I like Ford's housing idea, but I don't like that he cut my criminal injuries before Grimes got like 900 million, not million, but $900,000. Like, shit, I am fucked. He doesn't have to like me. Damn, does he have to hate me so much? Well, maybe he doesn't hate me. Maybe it was just business. For me, that was personal. That could have killed me. So I'm scared, right? And then he was saying, well, you can vote for this other right guy. I was like, well, I like a lot of these right-wing people. But I don't know how much it applies to me, right? So all the shit talk I talked about the fucking Liberal Party. Well, what if I'm fucking wrong? What if a lot of what I said was wrong? A lot of what they're accused of was wrong. I was wrong. I hear people say stuff, or I hear Trump say stuff, and my head goes to the invasion of the Panama Canal. Where between Noriega and the CIA, they killed like fucking 1 million people. It wasn't funny. They do this all the time, right? And we get caught in the crossfire. So that's where I'm going, right? When I hear shit like that. But the thing is that I've caught most politicians in some form of white lie. And I started thinking about, well, just because I have to practice a program of honesty doesn't mean that it works. Doesn't mean that that's what how life works. That doesn't mean, that I can't afford to be less TMI, or that I know everything, or even that I think I know everything, or that, just catastrophization and all sorts of stuff. So I was thinking about this, the basic instincts of life that create self. Thinking of the social instinct, companionship, wanting to be accepted, prestige, wanting to be recognized or accepted as a leader. I don't know about that, but I'll tell you something. Self esteem, how we think of ourselves, high or low, pride, excessive or unjustified opinion of oneself, self love or negative self hate, personal relationships, our relations with other human beings and the world around us, ambitions are plans to gain acceptance, power, recognition, or prestige. Okay, I'm not the biggest power hungry person. Newsflash, newsflash. Feelings of bitterness. This is under resentment. It's incorrect judgment, which comes from rightly or wrongly held feelings of being injured or offended. So I've been really super sick. My immune system just got shot to shit with that shot. And I was already kind of a social pariah. Not kind of, like definitely. I needed to go on HRT. I needed to start taking my meds, right? I had to start taking some form of medication, and I went on medication, and it's working for me. And for some people, it's a catastrophe. They want me to take benzos. They want me to take opioids. I can't do it. I won't do it. C'est la vie. I joined the gym. It helps with my pain management and having a little bit of companionship. It helps my anxiety go away. I can't always be popping pills when I have anxiety. You know, I mean, it might seem selfish to some people, but for me, it's like what little I have is my recovery, right? So I can't just every time I have anxiety, but I do have to learn how to self manage a little bit better. I have to get into this more. If I'm hurting, then I got to work my 4 to 9, whether I got a sponsor or not. I can listen to Joe and Charlie and do the work alongside. Prestige, wanting to be recognized or accepted as a leader. Okay, I don't want to be a leader. I don't want to be a follower, but it's nice to be part of the herd. It's really, really nice to be able to hang out with people and just chat, even if it's about whatever. It doesn't have to be about anything. Self esteem, how we think of ourselves, high or low. Well, you know, it's that old rule. I heard something about the golden rule. I was listening to Father Martin the other night, and he was talking about the golden rule, how it's based on the 10 Commandments. But also there's that other rule, garbage in, garbage out. And you are what you eat and who you hang out with and who you surround yourself with. And for me, pride and excessive or unjustified opinions of oneself, either positive self love or negative self hate, those two extremes are really unhealthy for me to go to. With ambitions, our plan to gain acceptance, power, recognition, prestige. Well, I'm middle management, buddy, so I only have like mid range fucking plans. I don't have a lot of world domination plans, but I know I don't want to live in the park again. Um, so yeah, coming to reality with that. Let's take a look at the security instinct here. Material, wanting money, things, property, clothing, etc., in order to be secure in the future. Yeah, I like looking cleaned up. I like looking all right. I'm not exactly where I want to be. I wish I had hair. I wish I had long Barbie doll hair, but I'm rocking the Amber Rose hair, and I'm cool with that. Emotional, based on our needs for another person or persons. Some tend to dominate others. Some are overly dependent on others. Ambitions are plans to gain material wealth or to dominate others or to depend upon others. So there's self, wrongs, incorrect belief, fear, feelings, anxiety, agitation, uneasiness, apprehension, etc. etc. Sex instinct. Never mind that. Acceptable. Our sex lives as accepted by society's God's principles are or our own principles. Hidden are sex lives that are contrary to either society, God's principles, or our own principles. Ambition are plans regarding our sex lives, whatever acceptable or hidden. Okay. Incorrect actions, harms, or hurts. Wrongs, okay, so that's acts which result in pain, hurt, feelings, worry, financial loss, etc. for others, also self. So for me, I'm just an older girl going back to the club if I have to. I don't want to, but if I have to. I pretty much have zero sex instinct at this point. And yeah, I'm really happy I went on HRT, but yeah, I don't have much. I might look okay. I might look nice. Some people compliment me tonight, but honestly, I'm not. I'm just not there, right? And that's okay. I'm not pushing myself because I've been through so much. My body has been through so much, and I'm still healing from what my body has been through. And for me to have to maybe even go back to work in that industry is really, really difficult. It's not how I want it, it's how it is, right? So again, having to work steps 4 to 9 till the pain goes away, because resentment is our number one offender. I'm going to throw this side while I read. It destroys more alcoholics than anything else. From its stem all forms of spiritual disease, for we have been not only mentally and physically, we have been spiritually sick. When the spiritual malady is overcome, we straighten out mentally and physically. In dealing with resentments, we set them on paper. We listed people, institutions, or principles with whom we were angry. We asked ourselves why we were angry. In most cases, it was found out that our self-esteem, our pocketbooks, our ambitions, or our personal relationships, including sex, were hurt or threatened. So we were sore, we were burned up. On a grudge list, we set opposite each name our injuries. Was it our self esteem, our security, our ambitions, our personal relations which had been interfered with? We were usually as definite as this example. So I was rolling it over in my head as I was coming home, and I was like, okay, where have I been in the wrong in this? And where do I need to pull my own weight more? But also, where have people really thrown me under the bus? And where do I need to show up in a way that isn't harmful but is helpful? You know, and that's good. I'm not going to get too into it because I don't want to get TMI. But I'm gonna go over to the inventory section here. So when I come to my resentment, I can always jump back to that was page 65. I'm pretty sure it was 65, right? I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it was 65. I'm right. Some people say it's on 69. It's not, you perverts. We're tie-dye, we structurally review our day, we're resentful. So I started doing that spot check inventory in my mind because apparently it's really difficult for people if I do it on my phone. Apparently it's really difficult if I write in a journal even. Um, and for me, I'm at a point where if I do something privately on my electronics or I do something privately on an app, that's my personal business. That's not for a violent offender to get offended and to send more violent offenders after me. That's for me. Um, Even if they've paid off the government, I don't care if you're a Hollywood pedophile with a lot of money. That's for me. That's not for you, and that's for you to get over. Not get over it by the only safe space is a dead Amanda. You have to deal with that. And so I got to a point where I was like, I really got to just let go, let God, right? I got to let that shit go because it's gonna kill me. And there are things I wanted to do I can't do. There's time I will not get back, and I can't waste any more time in certain resentments, but they will crop up. Forgiveness. I was listening to Father Martin's talk on forgiveness the other night, and it was really good. I didn't want to listen to it. And I even heard the joke that my sister's friend used to tell, but she used to tell it about baby Jesus and Santa Claus and a little boy named Mario who wanted a Super Nintendo for Christmas. And I'll tell it one day. But anyways, I was really just in that state where I was like, I have to get over the pain. And I heard someone say, forgiveness is a process. And it's not just forgiving to be forgiven. There was something to forgive. And I have to remind myself to pray instead of ranting at the walls or snapping at someone or acting out on defects or picking up a drink or a drug. I have to pray for myself. I have to pray for that person. And then I got to let it go. I got to give it to God. I got to let it go. So that's what I decided to do. So is that selfish? Well, working my tools is not. But if I don't work my tools, yeah, I'm not much closer to a drink or a drug. Dishonest, not to my knowledge. But I'm going to be a lot less TMI afraid. Yeah. Because I don't know what's right or wrong. And, I know what right and wrong is, like as far as the golden rule goes. But when it comes down to like true or false, yeah, there's I mean, we live in an age where a lot of addicts are running the show, and they're liars, cheats, and thieves, and as long as they have a lot of money, they have a lot of reason to be enabled and just act out however they fucking want. And it's scary when you're living under the duress of active addicts who are really vicious. This is a vicious thing we're in right now, and I got to learn to just manage my side of the street. Do we owe an apology? Yeah, I don't know. I'm sorry if you're offended. I didn't even say anyone. Like, I didn't say names or anything, so I don't know where people are losing it. Whatever, whatever. Sometimes I think people like to fuck with me from political parties just to see what I'll do. Have we come somewhere ourselves which should be discussed with another person at once? At least I fucking hope so. Otherwise, you look like a guilty, culpable fucker. I'm kind of loving to it all. I think I just said everything I need to say. We could have done better. I don't know. I'm trying. We think of ourselves most of the time. Yeah. Yeah, I was really worried about getting cut. And then I was like, just leave it. You don't have to be a bitch. You know, Doug Ford doesn't have to be your best friend. You don't have to be his best friend. Yeah, it's suspicious that he just called the election and people don't even have time to make the fucking debate. Like, what the fuck? I didn't get my voter registration card, but I got a text to go to the advanced polls, and I was all gonna do it, and then I was like, wait a second. This guy cut my criminal injuries, and he did not give me any warning. He could cut my fucking ODSP. He could have me thrown out of my home in the middle of winter, dying on the street. Oops, you're not Grimes. Okay, well, then I'm going to have to go vote Trudeau. I'm not voting Trudeau, I'm voting Liberal. That's a strategic vote, too. Comes over ourselves, which should be discussed with another person at once. Not to my knowledge. Kind of living toward all. I started to think in terms of not everyone has to be my enemy. And yeah, that whole thing, why do people hang out with certain people from certain socioeconomic backgrounds? Because we belong together. I don't have to like someone, I don't have to hate someone, and I also don't have to act on it. And same with that. And I don't have to react in a way, and I can be angry at people. We're all gonna fucking die. I don't have to go to jail over shit or become a mass shooter over it. I might if my ODSP gets cut, but I'll cross that bridge when I come to it, even if it's not okay. Trust in God, evoke the name of Jesus, anything, whatever it takes, right, to do the next right thing, and it's just to stay mentally like on the beam. Kind of living toward all. Just deal with it. Just let it go. Just deal with it when it comes up. You know, stop catastrophizing, because I do that, right? Okay, I've done better. I don't know. I should go stretch. I'm gonna do that after this. We're thinking of ourselves most of the time. No, I think what we do for others back in stream of life. Not enough. But I was thinking today how lucky I am to eat from the soup kitchen, and I was like, I have a lot of peace of mind because of what's been happening. I tie off my whole house before I leave. I tie off. Even when I'm here, I got things locked up. I got things locked up in bags. I got, things locked up in the fridge. I cleaned out all the cupboards. I was like, that's it. I'm done. I'm done with coming home to poison surprise or bullshit surprise. So I just lock everything up before I leave. Just like I did in the last place. I had a chain. I locked up the cupboards. I locked up the fridge. The landlord was like, holy fucking shit. Great idea. I even had the door tripped out because I was in Meth Head Central. I've lived in Parkdale. I've lived in Regent. I've had to fortify my home. Okay. And it works. And some people might say that's crazy. You should go for some medication. I'm like, well, maybe they should try living in a neighborhood where, shit goes missing and you don't even own a lot of stuff, but someone in the building is a junkie and has got a key. Might even be the cleaner. What could we have done better? This building has a cleaner. I've been in buildings that don't have a cleaner. Let's see. What could we have done better? I think I was trying to think of something, but I can't remember. Oh, so I was thinking about the soup kitchen. And I was like, I really enjoy eating there, but I really feel bad, right? And I'm under the poverty line. Whoops, excuse me, I just dropped my glasses. I'm under the poverty line. So it's not the biggest deal in the world. But at the same time, I was like, I really am eating well. Like I really am eating well. I'm back to eating meat. I'm eating what they give me. I feel good. My brain is starting to recover from things. I'm starting to get a little bit better bit by bit. It's been hell, and I don't have huge expectations for my health, but I feel really lucky, you know. especially with my immunity being the way it's been. Um, being able to go to the gym is a gift. Being able to walk up the road is a gift. Not taking things for granted. And yeah, what if I give them money for my food? Instead of spending money at the grocery store and then neuroticizing about what's happening in my home when I'm out while I'm trying to get better at the gym, why don't I just pay the soup kitchen some money? Do a pay what I can for now as a form of gratitude. Win-win, right? You know, I don't have to live in that shame. Someone sees me going to the soup kitchen, they're going to judge me off it. Cool. But if I paid my way, if I paid them $100 even, I'm not going to feel so shameful about it. So, I talked to them. They said, well, actually, it's more like $5 a meal for 30 days. Well, shit, I'm eating once a day. I'm intermittent fasting. I get these protein shakes. I like it. I'm actually getting healthier. I might clear this infection. I don't have big, huge hopes or plans. It might not. I get a clogged sinus. I don't even know if we're having a provincial election or a federal election because I can't think straight. It really affects my thinking that badly, that COVID lobotomy. But at the same time, it it is what it is. It's life on life's terms. No one here gets out alive. And I turned 50 this week. I'm lucky to have made it this far. So yeah, I'm grateful for what I have. I don't know how long I'm going to have it for. And I'm hoping to build on it just a little bit, you know, not a lot, but a little bit. Because how fortunate the man with none. And with that, I'll pass.